So, you would like to learn how to do the chaos Victorian punk updo that is quite frequently seen on this channel. Well, are you in luck today, because I'm about to show you the most ambitious, the most innovative, the most complicated, never before seen. You will not believe how this is done. Step 1, have medium length, curly or textured hair. Step 2, loosely gather up said hair into a puff. Step 3, clip into place. That's it, that's the tutorial. Well, in short, because while the day-to-day styling might be this quick 30-second process, your girl naturally has diseased pigeon energy and needs a little bit of help to reach that fluffy and textured start. Technically, you can use any method of curling for this stage as you and your hair type prefer. Although personally, heat methods don't tend to last very long on me, and I find foam rollers absolutely impossible to sleep in, so I just opt for pin curls. I cannot stress enough that every person's hair responds differently to various curling techniques, so of course feel free to adapt this to suit your needs.
So I've just washed my hair. It's just past damp. It's not wet, but it's not dry. It's still got a little bit of moisture in it, and that, at least for me, helps it to hold its curl a little bit better and a little bit longer, a little bit stronger. I have also treated it with a little bit of this volumizing cream, once again, just to help give it a little bit of extra fluff. And once you do this, of course, you do brush it through just to make sure it gets all coated. So, you know, my hair doesn't technically need a lot of brushing right now, but it does help to make sure that you just get all of the hairs going in one direction, so that when you pin curl, things are pin curling circularly and not zigzagonally. Although, if you really want to go for chaos, I'm sure that would actually help your case a lot. I don't know. A lot of pin curling tutorials online will tell you, you know, you've got to pin curl in this specific direction. These curls have to be in this pattern, and these have to be in this pattern. You do this many here and this many here. That is not the goal for this. It does not matter where your curls go or how they're curled. Basically, the goal is just chaos. Don't we love that? The one thing that I will start with is I will start doing one in the center front, if you will. We do sometimes sew here. And this one I'll just brush forward because this will help to give the front bit that nice little forward wave. And I'm just taking a little chunk. These chunks can be as large or as small as you like. If they're smaller, then you will have tighter curls. It will take a lot longer. If they are larger chunks, then it will take not quite as long, but it will also have much looser curls. So I'm keeping the hair very flat. I'm trying not to bunch it or twist it up, because especially if it twists up like this, you're not going to get a curl out of it. You really want to make sure that this strand of hair is nice and flat like a ribbon. I take 2 fingers and I put those 2 fingers right where the curl is going to loop over. Just make sure all of these ends are tucked in, and then just wrap it like so. These do not have to be neat. They do not have to be picturesque or aesthetic. It really won't matter on the outcome of the curl, as long as you make sure that the ends of the hair are wrapped up fully. If those aren't wrapped up, then you will end up with one straight bit at the end of the curl, which is quite telling that the curl isn't natural. And then once I've done that, I'm just pinning the curl in. I like to put 2 little pins in it just because that holds it much nicer. And you have your first pin curl. Now to do that to the entire rest of your head.
I'm layering the 2 pins in a cross pattern for each curl, since I find that this just helps to keep the curl in place most efficiently during the night. Also, to short hair folk, this one works for you too. My brother Danny has got fantastic Regency rake and Hobbit style looks by pin curling his much shorter hair. So as long as you have enough length just to make a ringlet, you too can enjoy the pin curled life. You do have to be cautious with longer hair though, since I found that, on me at least, after about mid-humerus it just gets too heavy and the curls fall right out. Fortunately, there are plenty of Victorian hairstyles that you can do with much longer hair. I think I have several tutorials on this channel alone, and I'm sure there are many others throughout the internet, so do go forth and seek out those. But for those of you who have shoulder to mid-length hair, this method works really well to simulate volume as well as to give you that Victorian updo vibe.
This process can take anywhere for me from about 20 to 45 minutes, depending on the size of curl that I do and the amount of distraction that I'm currently working with. So while I'm doing this, I usually like to have something on in the background, watch some Netflix, listen to a podcast, watch some YouTube videos. So I guess it quite helps that NordVPN are sponsoring this video, because NordVPN are quite the lifesaver when it comes to consuming online content. They are one of the fastest virtual private network services, which, if you don't know what that is, it basically hides your computer's IP address and thus your location. So if you are trying to access, for example, Canadian Netflix, or if there's a YouTube video that's been blocked in your country so rudely, it allows you to choose which country that you would like to say that you are from, so that you can fool all of these sites into thinking that you are from one of said countries, and you can consume all of the content to your heart's desire.
Visit nordvpn.com/Bernadette to get a 2-year subscription, and for using my link, an additional 4 months for free. Plus, Nord are also offering an up to 20 gigabyte voucher for Saily, Nord's eSIM division, so you can travel to real actual countries in actual person and connect immediately to the local mobile networks without all those pesky roaming fees. That is nordvpn.com/Bernadette to check out their exclusive deal, plus the up to 20 gigabyte Saily voucher for funsies. Anyway, here is where we are so far. We've got some donuts happening. Now to do the rest of them.
Well, it's only been like 10 minutes. We're going fast today.
This is a process that might take a bit of practice, especially to get to do it by feel rather than in front of a mirror. So don't worry if this takes a bit longer or if the result doesn't come out quite exactly as planned the first time. I've been doing this on and off for around 10 years as my hair's been short enough for it, so I've got my pattern and my technique down very comfortably, but of course this might take a little bit of development for you, especially to determine how your particular hair likes to be curled, what direction to curl it in, how big to make the curls, or how small to make the curls. The end is nigh. I always underestimate how much hair is on the back of my head. I'm like, oh, it's going so quickly. And the back of my head just takes as long as everything else. Satisfactory. Here is where we are. We are all nice and pin curled. Once again, it does not have to be neat. You don't have to worry about things sticking out. Again, as long as the tails aren't sticking out, you'll be fine. If the hair is in its little loop formation, it will curl. So we are going to go ahead and tie this up for the night so that when we go to sleep, we don't have to deal with pins falling out. Also, if you, like me, need to catch a bus home, it's babushka time! All right, I shall see you in the morning. Good morrow unto thee, fair friends. It is time to take out these pin curls. I'm so looking forward to this.
No casualties last night. Everything stayed where it needed to be. Can't always say that for every night. This process is extremely satisfying. You just get to rip out all the pins, and it only takes a minute.
Although the setting process may take half an hour, it's a once-a-week ordeal that makes the hairstyling for the rest of the week a quick 30-second task. And it stays pretty sufficiently all week, especially if I'm wearing it up consistently and keeping it out of the rain.
So you end up very curly by the beginning of the day. At this point, this is where you could, if you wanted a more sort of vintage old Hollywood look, you could brush these out and create nice soft waves. Personally, I don't like to do that for my Victorian updos, first of all, because then you get more crazy curly nonsense going on. But I find as my hair falls through the week, I can actually preserve it longer if the curls stay tighter on the first day. So. Now is where the magic happens. You do the thing. I do like to sort of run my hands through it a little bit though, instead of full out brushing it, just to break up the curls a little bit so that you have a little bit more volume, a little bit more chaos going on, and a little bit less little ringlets, little 1860s ringlets, because that's not the vibe we're going for. So, once you have your curls, it is simply a matter of gathering them up on the back of your head here. I'm literally just pulling my hair straight up to the top of my head, gathering it up. You can put a little twist in the back of it if it's a bit longer than you'd like and it's falling over a bit more than you'd like. I am trying to put most of the twist and most of the gathering in this back portion here and leaving the front free to do whatever it wants, because eventually throughout the day this will come down and form a little fluffy thing, and then I literally just take a clip and then it is simply a matter of clip. This is the quick and dirty method, and this is the method that I usually do in my day-to-day life, purely because it's so quick and easy. You can go in with pins and, you know, hairpin the whole thing properly. That's what I've often done as well for, you know, things, shoots, videos, whatever, where I have to be more, you know, convincingly Victorian and a little bit less like history bounding Victorian style, because the clip probably isn't the most historically accurate method and the pins definitely would have been used a lot more. So there you have it. Chaos Victorian. This is literally the quickest, I mean, once you've got the curly hair. So if you have curly hair naturally, your hairstyle will take 30 seconds to do, but if you don't, then, you know, it might take, you know, half an hour a week to set it and, you know, get it into shape first. But, you know, once that's all done, then it is literally the quickest hairstyle ever. And I always get comments like, oh my God, your hair looks so amazing. How did you do it? It must have taken forever. And it's like, no, it literally took 30 seconds and I just had a clip and I needed it up. So I just put it up and now we're vibing like Victorian punk style. So, I hope that answers your question. And I hope that wasn't terribly disappointing because it literally involves no effort. Okay, bye.